I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a bit as I move along. It's been a while since I did any of my readings, so let us refresh. We've been reading, most recently, about the invasion of Assyria. Assyria invading Judah. First it invaded the northern kingdom of Israel, took them all captive, destroyed the nation, brought in foreigners to settle the land, had a fun time there. We then read about how Assyria invaded Judah. They first went down and conquered the Philistines, and then moved into Judah from the southwest, laying siege to both the city of Lachish and the city of Jerusalem at the same time. Now, they started mocking God and mocking Hezekiah, and telling the people to just give up because Assyria is just too powerful, so might as well not even try. So Hezekiah and Isaiah got together, prayed, asked God for deliverance, and God said, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it. So first, there was a rumor of, there was a rebellion in Ethiopia, and so the king diverted all of his army to put this rebellion down. While he was putting this rebellion down, he sent a letter to Hezekiah and Jerusalem blaspheming God. And once the rebellion was put down, the king of Assyria marched his army back up to besiege Jerusalem again. This is King Sennacherib. And Hezekiah takes the letter into the temple, spreads it out on, it says he laid it before God. I think he spread it out on the altar. And he said, God, are you going to let them get away with this? Don't let them be a mockery. Show them that you are truly God. And so that night, an angel came down, killed 185,000 of the Assyrian army. The king slunk back to Assyria, where he was assassinated by two of his sons. So now, we're going to pick this up in chapter 37 of Isaiah. We actually read the first half of the Isaiah, which contained the blasphemous letter. We are now going to finish chapter 37 of Isaiah. This will be verses 31 through 38. But this will be a retelling of what was already read in 2 Kings chapter 19. Chapter 37 of Isaiah and chapter 19 of 2 Kings are the same story, almost word for word. So we will see how it goes. I also want to mention that this video does have a Joseph Smith translation in it. What the Joseph Smith translation is, this is an inspired translation or correction of the Bible done by Joseph Smith to restore those passages that had been lost over the years. Verse 21. Then Isaiah the son of Amos sent unto Hezekiah, saying, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, Whereas thou hast prayed to me against Sennacherib king of Assyria, this is the word which the Lord hath spoken concerning him. The virgin, the daughter of Zion, hath despised thee, and laughed thee to scorn. The daughter of Jerusalem hath shaken her head at thee. Whom hast thou reproached and blasphemed, and against whom hast thou exalted thy voice, and lifted up thine eyes on high, even against the Holy One of Israel? By thy servants thou hast reproached the Lord, and hast said, By the multitude of my chariots am I come up to the height of the mountains, and to the sides of Lebanon, and I will cut down the tall cedars thereof, and the choice fir trees thereof, and I will enter into the height of the border, and the forest of his Carmel. I have digged and drunk water, and with the sole of my feet have I dried up all the rivers of the blessed places. Hast thou not heard long ago how I have done it, and of ancient times that I have formed it? Now have I brought it to pass, that thou shouldest be to lay waste defenced cities into ruinous heaps. Therefore their inhabitants were of small power. They were dismayed and confounded. They were as the grass of the field, and as the green herb, as the grass of the housetops, and as corn blasted before it Therefore their inhabitants were of small power. They were dismayed and confounded. They were as the grass of the field, and as the green herb, as the grass on the housetops, and as corn blasted before it be grown up. But I know thy abode, and thy going out, and thy coming in, and thy rage against me. Because thy rage against me and thy tumult is come up into mine ears, therefore will I put my hook in thy nose, and my bridle in thy lips, and I will turn thee back by the way by which thou camest. And this shall be a sign unto thee. Ye shall eat this year such as groweth of itself, and the second year that which springeth of the same. And in the third year sow ye and reap. and plant vineyards, and eat the fruit thereof. And the remnant that is escaped of the house of Judah shall again take root downward, and bear fruit upward. For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant. And they that escape out of Mount Zion, the zeal of the Lord of hosts, shall do this. Therefore thus saith the Lord concerning the king of Assyria, he shall not come into the city, nor shoot an arrow there, nor come before it with shields, nor cast a bank against it. By the way that he came, by the same shall he return, and shall not come into this city, saith the Lord. For I will defend this city to save it, for mine own sake, and for my servant David's sake. Then the angel of the Lord went forth, and smote in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed, and went and returned, and dwelt in Nineveh. And it came to pass, as he was worshipping in the house of Nisroch his god, that Adremelech and Sharezer his sons smote him with the sword, and they escaped into the land of Armenia. And Esarhaddon his son reigned in his stead. So this is a basic word for word from 2 Kings, but since it's been a while, I find it fun. This is God's answer to the letter that Sennacherib sends, where Sennacherib is telling the people, give up. Your God can't save you. None of the other gods of the other nations save them. Your God's not going to save you. And this is God's answer. He first speaks to Sennacherib, the king of Assyria, and says, how dare you? You think you did this on your own. You think that it was your horses and your chariots and your armies that made you so successful. But I'm the one in charge. I've been setting this up. I've been planning this since ancient times. Things have been in the works. And now they are coming to pass, because I set things up for this to happen. I am the one doing it. And I know where you sleep. I know thy abode. I know when you go in. I know when you come out. I know all this stuff. This is me. It's all me. And because you are taking the glory to yourself, we're going to have to take you out. But then, and I think I missed this in my reading of 2 Kings, in verse 30 it says, and this shall be a sign unto thee, you shall eat this year such as groweth of itself. That's now switching the message from Sennacherib, king of Assyria, now giving the message to Hezekiah, king of Judah. This is a sign for Hezekiah, king of Judah, that the war is going to be over. This year you had to prepare for the war, so you didn't have enough time to really plant anything, and the armies marching through has done some damage to the land. So all you can really do is you will eat what grows naturally. And next year you will eat what grows naturally. In the third year you will be able to again sow your land. The damage that was done by this war will have been healed by then. But then we get the rest of it. It's just Assyria, the Assyrian army is destroyed by an angel. Sennacherib flees back into Assyria where he is assassinated. But before we sign off, there were some Joseph Smith translations here. In verse 32, and the King James says, for out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and they that escape out of Mount Zion, the zeal of the Lord of hosts shall do this. Joseph Smith corrects this. And they that escape out of Jerusalem shall come up upon Mount Zion. So the remnant will come back up to Mount Zion. I'm not sure it's a profound change, but it's more of a grammatical change, clarifying the remnant that survived Jerusalem will once again be on Mount Zion. But as I said, nothing too drastic there. Verse 36, near the end, the last clause of the verse says, in the King James, and when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses. Now, that's a little awkward in its saying, did the dead rise up? But you can tell, when the Jews woke up, the army was dead. But Joseph Smith corrects this and makes it a little bit more understandable. And it says here, and when they who were left arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses. So now it's not the Jews that are being brought out that are seeing this. This is 185,000 of the army of Assyria was killed. It wasn't the entire army. That was a big army. There were some who were not killed. And when they woke up, all they found was the entire army was dead, except a few survivors. No, maybe there was 190,000, and the 5,000 wake up to see 185,000 dead. So it's an interesting clarification, but again, not vital to the meaning of the chapter. We will be leaving that here. I think that's good enough for now. Now we will be turning back to Kings and Chronicles a little bit. There is the rest of the reign of Hezekiah, which is, we're going to have some parallel accounts in both Kings, Chronicles, and Isaiah. So we're going to be reading all three of them. So I will see you there.